Hi there, I'm sorry it's been a little while since I've shared anything with you on my YouTube channel. I thought I'd come back on today and just share with you some little sponge buns that I was going to make today. I've shared a similar recipe with you, well it's actually the basic recipe I've shared with you before, so the basic gluten-free sponge recipe I've put up on my channel before, but I sort of felt that that was a little bit of a cop-out and I didn't show it you in much detail, so I thought I'd show you a little bit more in detail today, and just another thing of what I use that basic recipe for. It's such an easy recipe. It's a fail-safe one, an all-in-one method, and you can have cake whipped up in no time at all. So I'll drop the camera down and just show you how I go about making these little sponge buns that I'll decorate afterwards with some icing. The quantities I'm going to pop below for you. So if you want to have a check of the full recipe, then they'll below, but I'll just run through with the ingredients that I put in there. So I'll just drop the camera down now. Okay, so into the bowl I'm going to put flour, so that's gluten-free self-raising flour. My flour of choice today is Sainsbury's gluten-free flour. I'm loving this at the moment and I'm not getting any bad bakes with it, so while the going's good I'll stick with it. Then I'm going to put in there caster sugar and into their butter. I'm using Lurpak spreadable full fat butter today. It's something I use a lot for my bakes. I use hard butter if I'm making something like pastry or something like that, or scones, but for like a sponge, the Lurpak spreadable is brilliant. Okay, and then I'm just going to pop some eggs in there as well. Okay, and then some vanilla essence, and I'm loving this vanilla essence. For gluten-free, you do just have to check things like essence and spices and things like that to make sure there's no gluten-containing ingredients. But this vanilla is a lovely one, and it saves having to sort of do a pod or anything like that, and it's just handy to have in the cupboard. So I'm just going to put a teaspoon of this in here as well. Okay, pop a teaspoon out and pop that in there. Okay, there we go. So that's it, that's everything in there that we need for the sponge. And as I say, this is a recipe that you can use for lots and lots of different things. I can just be a very lazy cook, so I can have these whipped up and made in no time at all. So yeah, so all we need to do then is just give that a little bit of a mix first before I start the mixture, otherwise I'll have flour everywhere. And then just turn that on and give that a good mix. And then we're just looking to it to be light and creamy, and you'll feel the texture sort of change, it'll be nice and smooth. So just give that a really good lift. That's it. That's just what you're looking for, that sort of consistency, nice and creamy. And then we're just going to divide this between the bun cases that I've got here. Now, as I've done, say, the muffin tins today, because I've done a slightly bigger bun. So the quantity I've done a bit more for this. I've done, well, I'll write that down below for you, because I'm sort of saying it in ounces, so it's sort of 6 ounces. Equal quantities, but I'll write it below and then you've got it to go off. So you just divide the mixture equally between the bun tins. Just start off with a spoonful in each and then you can gauge it from there. So 1 good spoonful in each, and I'm using dessert spoons. A lot of people like to use the potato scoop, and that does work really well, but I've only got a tiny one so I'll be there forevermore doing that. So I'm going to put like another half in each one just to do that. So you're just looking for it equal, just so it bakes equal. And these, whilst these are gluten-free buns, this, you know, how I'm actually using them, you can use them for standard ones as well. So if you don't require a gluten-free diet, then you know, of course, just use this thing just to give you a guide of other things too. Okay. So say just divide it equally up, and then that's it. It's a bit hit and miss, but it looks about equal. Okay, so we're just going to pop these in the oven. I'm going to pop them in the oven for about 18 minutes now. I've set the oven for 170 fan, and as I say, they should take about 18 minutes. When they're done, they'll be light and springy, so they'll be golden brown, and then when you press the top, they'll be light and springy, but I'll show you them when they come out of the oven. Okay, so that's the sponge buns just fresh out of the oven now. They're all done. They're just light and nice and spongy on top. And I'm just going to let them go cold and then just decorate them up really simply. But I'll just show you what I do. Okay, so to transform the little sponge buns into fairy cakes, it's really, really simple. And all you need to do, I'm going to again drop the camera down. So all you need to do is blend a little bit of boiled water from the kettle into some icing sugar. Just add it gradually, the water, because it won't take a lot of water, and you don't want it too runny, the icing. You want it to be able to hold its shape quite well. So just add it really, like I say, a drop at a time, just to get it into a nice paste. And yeah, and this is sort of classed as glassy icing or water icing. But this is one of my favourite icings, and with it being warm water that you're adding as well, you don't actually need to sieve the icing sugar, because it gets rid of all the lumps as well. So it's quite an easy icing to make, and a really effective one as well. So just give it a really nice good whisk, or mix should I say, and then just add, that probably needs just a little drop more water there. It is just getting the consistency right, but you'll soon get used to sort of how you like it. I just like it sort of quite nice and thick, so it's not transparent when it's on the cake. And I say I use this for like not Victoria's sandwiches, well, yeah, Victoria's sandwiches. Okay. So that's the consistency that you're looking for there. So it's sort of nice and glossy, and still sort of quite sort of white, so you don't want it transparent. Okay, and then all I'm going to do now is just, with 2 teaspoons, just drop as much in the centre as you can, and sort of get the cakes quite sort of flat as well. So just drop a teaspoon. Excuse my plaster on my finger, I would just cut myself just before I was going to do a video today. Okay, so just drop it on there. Can you see that? Yeah, great. So just drop that onto the centre. Okay, the reason you want it level is, if not, it'll run. I don't ideally want the icing to run too quickly. Okay, it needs to straighten up. Okay, so again, just go around, drop in as much into the centre as possible, and then the ones that are a bit wonky, you're going to be able to disguise a bit, because you're going to dunk these in some sprinkles or some nuts. But the one that ends up with a nice even one, you can use that one for the ones with the cherries. Running off, so I'll just grab that one straight, and I'll pop it on the side actually. Okay, again that one I'll just do the same as well. So just use the icing up, it's more how you want it to look more than anything. Okay. silicone one, isn't it? Just pop that a bit more on there. It doesn't, you'll see why, it doesn't really matter too much in the end because they get a good dunking, so righty-ho. So all I do now is, I've got some gluten-free sprinkles. These are ones I've got from Tesco. They're called Gold Crunch, and there's no gluten containing ingredients or no main contain. I've got some Bronze Crunch as well. I've not used those today, but I've got those. So all you're gonna do is just take the bun, give it a little twist in there, and that's it. Okay. So again, I'll use that one because it's a bit wonky one. And it's surprising how you can still make it look nice. Okay, so I'll just use that. I've sort of done it for about 3 of each. Okay, so there you go again. I just find it easier doing that than sprinkling it, but as I've only got a few to use up, I will just sprinkle them last few on top. Okay, and then I'm looking which ones look good. That'll look good. I think they're quite nice for the cherry ones. Actually, that one, nice for the cherry one. So I've got some nuts there. They're just flaked almonds, which I've actually toasted as well. So again, just give them a little bit of twist and do that. They sort of, it doesn't matter if they look a bit messy, they just work, I think. See, like that. But you can use whatever you fancy to top. You could do some grated chocolate, yeah, anything that you want to do. So I've got some little strands as well, and with those, they're strands. They're the ones I've got, and they're gluten-free and no may contain. And again, just give it a little twist, press it down, and there you go. Little twist. I just think they look really effective without a lot of effort at all. So yeah, and then finally I've just got some cherries to go on, just a little cherry cupcake. And you could, if you want to do them all cherry, you could put a little bit of almond essence in your sponge and flavour it that way. So that's it. These, I'm going to show you them how they look all trayed together. Bear with me a moment. So they're the finished fairy cakes. So simple to make, and it's just using the basic sponge recipe that I've shared with you before. I'll write the recipe below, and then it's entirely up to you however you want to top them with, but this is just to give you a bit of an idea. Okay, thanks for watching. See you again.